Okay, hello everyone. Hello. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are thrilled to welcome to our webinar, which will last for about an hour. My name is Yerkin Abdurrahman, and I'll be your host for this session. I'm not alone. I'll be hosting the webinar with my amazing colleagues who are working behind the scenes to ensure everything runs smoothly. I'd like to introduce my colleague Gulruh Mamad Kasimova, who will be moderating the chat box throughout the session. Gulruh will be facilitating our Q&A session toward the end of the webinar. So please keep your questions coming as we go along. We'll do our best to answer as many questions as we can. Now, before we dive in, just a quick reminder to keep your microphones muted unless invited to speak, and feel free to use the chat to engage and connect with others. Now it's time to introduce our presenter, Fajarudin Akbar from Indonesia. Let me first introduce the agenda of the session. It is as follows. The first, there will be introduction, then guest presentation, Q&A session, and there will be some announcements. Now, let me introduce our esteemed presenter, Fajarudin Akbar from Indonesia. Fajarudin Akbar serves as the ambassador of the International English Language Teachers Association in Indonesia and is a dedicated TESOL TEFL educator. As an English language teacher and educational technology practitioner, he wholeheartedly believes in fostering sustainable learning and promoting ongoing professional development. He's passionate about nurturing and supporting educational communities with a focus on encouraging global sustainable learning for both educators and students. For more information, you can visit his website at mooguru.com. Welcome, Fajarudin.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Yerkin.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Welcome, Fajarudin. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Yerkin, for the introduction. It's lovely. And thank you, everyone, for joining our session tonight. Again, it's very great to be here. Thank you for having me. Anyway, I'm Fajar. I believe it's easier, it's shorter compared to Fajarudin. So you can just call me Fajar or Faja. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen to start with, okay?
Okay, yes. Now, okay. Yes. You
okay,
can share the screen.
Thank you. Right, so it's visible now. So I've seen familiar fellow open alumni, teachers, yeah, my friends, dedicated educators. So again, it's very great to have this session, and it's very warm, and I believe we can have a fruitful discussion, share ideas and thoughts. So again, I'm Fajar, I'm from Indonesia, and I'm an English teacher like you, everyone here. However, I have a little bit of different context of teaching. And yeah, I'm an open alumni from Indonesia. I've also served as a community lead for the COP twice. And actually this year will be my third time as the COP community lead as a content creator. So please look forward to the content that I will share at the COP platform. And yeah, I'm an ambassador for IALTA Indonesia. So IALTA, or International English Language Teacher Association, it's an association, a small community of English teachers. We have around 85 countries members. And yeah, we gather, learn together, and then share ideas about teaching and learning English. And I'm interested in educational technology, integrating technology, enhancing language teaching, supporting and facilitating language learning using digital technology. And our discussion for tonight, well, let's say, I believe it's evening in Central Asia, right? Because it's evening in Indonesia too. We're going to, well, I know this topic is or has been discussed so many times for the past 2 years. But well, let's do it even one more time in this discussion session, in this webinar. So we're going to talk about how we can exploit Gen AI. So specifically to Gen AI or generative AI to create personalized lesson material. So in this session, we're going to look at generative AI only from the teacher side, a little bit from the student side, but we're going to focus more on the teacher side. Well, I know that I don't have much time, so this session will be hopefully a practical demonstration, which later you can also follow, or let's say try on your own. So before we start to the first thing that I would like to share, I would like to know from you, teachers, what AI tools have you used? Please answer me in the chat. Okay, just make it easy. So
Yeah,
what AI?
hello again. Hello, dear participants. Yes, please share your tools you are using, educational AI tools in the chat box.
Okay, ChatGPT. All right, character AI, nice. ChatGPT Cloud, ChatGPT Magic School, that's a good one. DeepSeek, okay. All right, keep it coming, please. So what AI tools have you used? Okay, Gemini, thank you. Bamboozle. Well, Bamboozle has AI now, I believe. Well, it's a good gamification platform. Yeah, ChatGPT quizzes AI, thank you. Gemini. Right, thank you. So I see that there have been many tools that you have tried. Thank you once again. And probably the tools that I will present in this webinar is also familiar to you. However, what I would like to introduce is not actually the tools, but the idea and the concept. So you can use different tools, other tools, but what I would like to share here is the concept of using the tools. Let's start with this one. Well, this is not actually an AI tool to create lesson materials, but actually, I would like to invite everyone to play this together. But let's say because we don't have much time, I will just show how it works. So I'm going to click this link, and if you can, you can also try to click the link I'm sending in the Zoom chat. So this is from Google. The name is Say What You Say. It's an experiment by Google, and well, it's a nice one. I will show you how it works. So in this game, we'll need to say what we see. Okay, well, that's the name of the game. So we'll say what you say. So we're going to learn the art of prompting, to understand what is prompting, what is prompt, and how to prompt. So I'm going to start with level 1, and here's an example. So if you see there's an image or a picture, so what you need to do in this game is to write about the picture, describe the picture. So include information about the medium, as example, a painting, the subject, well, here is a dog, and a context. A painting of a dog in a field. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, here's on the left, we see a picture. So I want you to try to type in the chat, what do you think? How can you describe this image on the left? Before I type in.
Yeah, dear participants, you can describe and write it in the chat box.
So what do you think? How would you describe this image on the left? I know it looks a little bit abstract, but try to come up with words that can describe this image on the left. 1 word, 2 words, that's fine. Okay, too hard? Okay, I will try, all right? I will try. So let's say something blurred, colors, color combo, colors. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll make it like this. A painting of 2 colors, sorry, 2 colors, right? Okay, green on the top. Sorry, it's a typo. Green on the top and pink on the bottom. And pink on the bottom. Right, let's see if I can guess it correctly. So it will try to generate an image based on what I described. So the idea of the game is how can you describe the image so you can create a similar image? Okay, well, it turns out that I'm not really good at describing it. So it turns out a minimalist painting of a gradient running from pale green to dusty pink. Okay, there are paintbrush marks faintly visible. Okay, let's try next one. Okay, I think this is easier. Can you come up with? Try to describe this image on the left, this photo.
Yeah, please, dear participants,
Looks yummy, right?
you can describe, as Fajar said, it's
Okay.
much more easier than the previous one.
Yeah. Make it a sentence. Make it a sentence. Yeah, soup ramen, but make it a sentence. You know, make it. You know, it's not only a soup. It's not only a ramen. But what can you say? Add details to it. Do you? Okay, good one. I do like ramen. But try to describe. Okay, Chinese favorite food. Okay, I think so. It's my favorite food too. My favorite food. Okay. Noodles with egg, that's a good one. Okay, delicious food. Okay, let me try. So, let's say it's a bowl. Okay, a bowl of a noodle. Okay, with an egg and vegetables. Okay, a bowl of noodle with an egg with vegetables. A picture of noodle with some topping. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll try this one, and let's see if I can find if I can generate a similar image. Indomie. Okay, I get it almost. Well, it turned out that I missed the soup. Okay, so if you notice, so this is the concept of prompting. Okay, this is the concept of how you instruct AI. So you want to describe what you want in your idea. Okay, you want to tell the AI of what you want to create as detailed as possible. Okay, as example, I want to create something that I see. I want to create a photo of a bowl of a noodle with an egg with vegetables. Okay, so that's the concept of prompting an AI. All right. Okay, thank you for sharing, Gulnara. You don't really eat noodle anymore or ramen. Okay, so that's a warm up. Okay, you can play this in your own time. Okay, I will share the slide to Jurgen, and Jurgen can share it to everyone. So that's the concept of prompting. When you prompt an AI tool, whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud, Copilot, and others, what you try is to describe what's on your mind, okay, what's on your mind, and tell the AI to create it or to generate it. Okay, let's put it into real practice. So here I have Gemini. Well, I've seen some of you have used Gemini, which is great. Okay. Again, well, I'm not promoting any AI tools here. Okay, you can use any tools, whether it's ChatGPT, Copilot, other AI tools that you are familiar with. Okay, this is just an example. But what I believe is that this idea and concept can be replicated to other AI tools. Okay, so, well, this is Gemini. I believe some of you are familiar with the website. However, I would like to show you a feature that Gemini has. So we call it, they call it Gemini Gems. Okay, Gemini Gems. So what is Gemini Gems? So in Gemini Gems, you can create your specific AI chatbot. Okay, so you can create an AI chat that is specifically made for your purpose. Okay, here I have an example. So I have created an AI chatbot from Gemini Gem. So this AI chatbot is specifically made for English language teaching materials, right? So everything that I will chat with this chatbot is about creating English language teaching materials, right? Okay, or English language teaching materials. I'll give an example. So, well, I mentioned that I teach a little bit of a unique context. So I don't teach at school. I teach private students. Sometimes my students are doctors, engineers. Sometimes what is it, like HR staff. Sometimes they are cook, chef, sometimes a celebrity. So I will need to adapt to any context of teaching. So I cannot just give general English, can say. So I will need to try my best to personalize the lesson materials to their context. Okay.
So you teach
So
English for specific purpose, right?
yes, correct. Thank you, Jurgen. Thank you, Jurgen.
Yeah.
Yes, I teach English for specific purposes, sometimes exam preparation. So recently, I have been teaching a learner who is an anesthesiology. So he's a doctor. He is still at A1 level. So I will need to try my best to create a material that is contextual, okay, relevant to his work. Okay, so I will start to prompt. So let's say create an A1 level so that's the English level, an A1 level listening worksheet. So I will start with a simple thing, worksheet, okay? For my student who is a doctor on the topic. So what do you think? What does a doctor do? Okay, what does a doctor need to learn if they need to learn English? Well, let's come up with, let's say, meeting a patient. Okay, meeting a patient. Okay, include a listening script. Okay, and then it will start generate. So I don't have to tell as example, oh, you are an English language teaching materials. I don't have to do it because the chatbot is already set into chatting about creating English language teaching materials like that. Well, I know this might not be perfect. Okay, of course, because, well, AI is not the expert. We are the expert. Okay, so as teacher, as the expert, we are the one who decide if this material can be used or not. Okay, we are the one who decide if we need to revise, review, and modify it. Okay, but as a draft, well, you see, okay, so here we have before listening, we have word matching. Okay, we have listen and tick. And yeah, we have some listen again, fill the gaps. Well, this is A1 level, easy stuff. And we have the script, right? And then we have answer key. And then you can come up with follow-up prompts as example, make it longer, give more exercise, create multiple choice question. You can come up with that. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, so first I would like to show you how to create a gem. So if you go to Gemini, you can go to explore gems and you can go to new gem. So here you can give your gem name. Well, as example, I'll make it very easy. English listening, okay, English listening script writer. Okay, and then you can give the instruction. What this AI chatbot for? For example, you create listening scripts for English lessons. Okay, and then you can even use Gemini to rewrite the instructions. Okay, and then it will provide the purpose and goals of this chat. So anything that you chat with, this chatbot is specifically for this one, not general. Not like ChatGPT, well, it's general, you have to tell you are this, you are that. Okay, so it's similar to GPT that you have to create. And this is free. Okay, this is free from Gemini. Even if you need, you can upload a file. As example, you want to upload an example of your lesson plan, an example of your lesson guides, and then it can replicate your lesson guide. But let's start with this instruction first. So we know that this is an English listening script, right? So let's say create a listening script for A1 level on the topic of meeting a patient. No, see? So it has a script. Okay, it has simple vocabulary. Okay, and yeah, it comes with simple comprehension questions. And then you can come up with anything. So you can make your AI chatbots more specific, okay, in different combine them on how you can use it continuously. Okay. Well, that's very common, right? Well, I can just use ChatGPT and then I can just use prompt templates, right? So what's new? What's new about this? So well, let's talk about listening. So as example, let's say here we already have a listening worksheet. Okay, sometimes the obstacle is that what we can do with the listening script. What we can do with listening script? Do we need to record them ourselves, or just the student, practice the dialogue in the classroom? Well, that can be good. That can be good. But there are tools where you can make this a personalized listening resource. Okay. So as example, let's say, okay, we are done with this. Okay, I think this is good enough. But now I need the listening. I need the audio, right? To play this so my student can listen to this conversation example. So I'll copy this and I will go to my next tool. Here we have an AI dialogue and voiceover platform. Again, this is free. Everything that I will show you today is free. But there are some premium, like you can use it for free and there is like premium feature, but you don't need it. So this one is Kukarela. What you use this is to create dialogues. Okay, so you can create dialogues, you can create text to voice. Well, text to voice is very common, right? You input text and then you can listen to the text. But what is more useful about this tool is that you can create a dialogue. So you can create characters. Let me show you. Okay, so here we create a project. So before we start with the script, so let me paste the script. So I pasted the script here. So you can first create actor. Okay, so let's say here I'm creating a doctor, right? And then, and choose a voice. Okay, so well, there are many free choice of voices to choose from. Okay, let's say.
Deep in the Amazon rainforest, a remarkable orchid blooms just once every 8 years.
Okay,
the ghost orchid produces ethereal white.
Okay, let's say that's the doctor. Okay, and then we need another actor, which is the patient. Okay, so I'll put patient here. And of course, we'll need to choose another voice. Okay, let's...
In the depths of the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, let's go with friendly guy. Okay, so we have the actor, we have doctor, and then we have patient. Now, what we do is to choose the actor for the dialogue. So I will, tick the doctor. Okay. All right. Okay, well, this seems to be odd, but yeah. Okay, this is just an example, right? And then you can choose the actor. All right. Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's my connection. So what you need to do later is to choose the voice. Okay, so I have already choose the voice for the doctor, and now I will choose the voice for the patient. Okay, and then choose the voice for the patient. Okay, now I will need to delete this doctor from the script. Okay, so they won't say doctor. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's say this is just an example. Okay, and yeah, you can go with more dialogues, and then you can create up to 5 characters in one conversation. Okay, I'll click play here and it will be loading a bit, so they generate the voice. Okay, so let's play it.
Hello, are you Mr. Davis?
Yes, I am.
Hello, Mr. Davis. I am Dr. Smith. Please sit down.
Thank you.
How are you today?
Not good. I have a stomach ache.
Okay?
Okay, that sounds a little bit robotic, right? That's why you can choose more voice. Okay, so if you think this is not good enough, and then you can choose another voice like that. So of course you will need to choose which voice is, as example, more suitable for this dialogue. Okay, well, this voice should sounds like someone who is sick, as example, because this is a patient, right? And a doctor, well, should sound like someone who wants to give an advice. Okay, and again, this is free. You have like 15,000 characters a month. You can download it. Okay, you can download this MP3. You can download the script, and you can share the link. Let's say if you don't want to download it, you can share the link. Okay, so that's the audio generator. So you have the tools to create the script, which of course you will need to first check if the script is suitable. Okay, and then you can copy and paste the script to make it into a listening resource. Again, there are many other tools that you can try or to choose from. Okay, right. Now, other a new feature from Gemini that I want to show you is that the Gemini Canvas. So, well, again, this is free. I will go with the 2.5 plus, which is a higher model of the tool. So you can click this canvas, okay? And then as example, create a vocabulary quiz. Create a web-based interactive vocabulary quiz. Okay, and then it will start coding the program. Yeah, I will share the slides, and on the slide you can click the link that I'm showing in this webinar. Okay, and then you have a vocabulary quiz. Okay, so this is Gemini Canvas. If you make it, if you use a more, again, detailed prompt, you can create a even more interactive platform that you can share with your students, and the students can do it. Well, let me show you the ones that I have created. So in case, wait up, let me refresh. Yes. Well, I'm using the free version. Right? You might need to explore them. Okay, as example, I've created this. Okay, IELTS listening. So, okay, this is interactive. The students can answer it here, and then they can check their answer. Okay, check answer, show correct answers, or show transcript of the audio. Okay, so as example, you have created your worksheet using another chat, and then you can use the Gemini Canvas. So this is the canvas, and you can prompt create create an interactive web-based worksheet, and then it will code for you. So as example, if I share this link with you, you can access the practice. So I send the link in the chat. So if you click it, or let's say you share this with your student, the student can do the interactive element of the worksheet. You see, so yeah, so I first created the worksheet, and then I use the Gemini Canvas, and I say, or I prompted the Canvas to create a web-based interactive worksheet. Okay, and then you can share the link, and then again you can check, the students can check their answers. Okay, as example, are incorrect. So the thing to this kind of creation is that it's not one step. Okay, that's why in the beginning I showed you the concept of prompting. So you will need to explore and experiment with the prompts and be able to actually put your ideas into prompts like that. So, well, now you have the tools to create a worksheet, to create a listening script. So this is the tool to create the audio. Again, you can choose another voice or more voices that is more suitable to the dialogue, and you can create up to 5 characters for free. Okay, so that's Cucarella. Now let's move on. Has anyone tried this tool before? Suno. Well, I hope it's working. Okay, anyone in the chat?
Yeah, please, dear colleagues, share. Do you have any
If no,
experience with
if no,
Suno?
it's fine. If no, it's fine. You can say no.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
Suno,
okay.
it creates songs.
Okay, great. Correct. Thank you, Gulnara. Yes. So this is an AI tool that you can use to create songs, any songs, free. So you can create up to 10 songs a day. Okay. So what you need is just to create an account, well, log in using Gmail or your email. Okay, and then you can go to create. Right. Okay, you can go to create, and then again, you need to prompt. Okay, you need to prompt. Right, I'll make it a little bit let's say extreme. Okay, let's say a rock song, okay, about present simple. Okay, about the English present simple. Okay, well, I'll make it very, very simple. From again, if you make it more details, you can put things as example. You want to make a song about certain grammar. You want to make a song about complex clauses and so on that you would like to have in English lesson. Okay, and then I will click create, and well, of course, it needs time to generate. Okay, right. Now let's listen if it's actually what we want. But again, the prompt is too simple. Okay, you will need to do a better prompt if you want to actually create something that you actually expect to have. Okay. All right.
It's the clock that doesn't tick. Words that cut but never stick. No past to chase, no future glow. Just what you see and what you know.
Well, it's too extreme, I know, but but again, you can make it as details as possible. So you can come up with, as example, kid songs, okay. Or if you want to come up with your own lyric, you can go to custom and then you can paste your lyric like that. So wait. Yeah. So you will have your script if you use simple. So you can just prompt like what do you want to have, like what songs do you want to actually, as example, you want to put certain grammar point, or you can create your own lyric maybe with ChatGPT, and then you can paste it here, and then you can choose the style, as example, rock, pop, okay, hip hop, okay, and then you can just click generate like that. Okay, and then a day you can generate up to 10 songs. The key is that if you want to prompt, of course, you will need to make it as detailed as possible. As example, again, certain grammar points, certain vocabulary to use, and you would like to mention the genre of the song. But let's say if you want to go for custom, it's as simple as you create the lyric and then you paste your lyric here, and then you can choose the genre of the song, and then you can create, and then it will come up with the songs. Well, I've created several songs, but I don't think I have the time to play it here today. Again, it's free. You can create up to 10 songs a day. Or, well, here's an idea as example. You can tell your students to come up with their own lyrics, okay, in the classroom, and then you can, put your students' lyric and paste it here, and then create a song with your students together. Well, that's the idea. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I don't have that much time to demonstrate it here. So, well, it's very simple to use. Okay, so, well, we have talked about listening. We have talked about creating worksheet using tools. We have talked about creating songs. How about speaking? Well, I've got this question a lot. Is there a tool that a student can practice with, or let's say a teacher can facilitate students to practice their speaking or their conversation skill? Well, there are many other tools. Again, you can use ChatGPT or Gemini, but the one that I prefer is Copilot. Well, this is from Microsoft. Again, it's chatbot. The different thing is that you can go to this microphone button and you can talk to Copilot.
Hey, Fajarudin.
Hi, I'm currently presenting in a webinar.
That's awesome. Presenting at a webinar can be a bit nerve-wracking, but equally exciting. How's it going for you?
Well, I'm currently introducing you to my fellow English teachers, so they want to know if they can, use you to facilitate students' speaking practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm here to help with speaking practice. I can converse in English, provide feedback, and even role-play different scenarios to make learning interactive. How can I assist your students?
And you can choose different voice. As example, you would like to choose a male voice.
Looking
Okay.
for answers?
I want to hear. I can write stories.
Okay, let's try another one.
What's up, Fajarudin?
I would like to practice a conversation in a role play. Can you help me with that?
For sure. What's the scenario you have in mind?
So let's say I'm an interviewee and you are an interviewer.
Got it. I'm the interviewer. Ready when you are.
But can you use simple English? I'm still learning.
Of course. I'll keep it simple. Let's begin. Tell me about a time you solved a problem.
Well, that's still difficult. Can you make it even easier for me to understand?
No problem. Tell me about a time when you helped someone.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can go on with that, and your students can go on with that. So, well, let's say if your students do not have access to, well, one of my ideas is to do it in the classroom. So your students, so as example, you can tell the Copilot, again, it's free. What you need is a Microsoft account, and you can go to copilot.microsoft.com. And as example, you tell the Copilot that the Copilot is a celebrity or maybe a famous person, and then you can tell your students to ask questions to Copilot, and Copilot will pretend to be someone. So it's like an interview role play like that in the classroom that you can do maybe with a speaker, with a projector. Yeah, so that's Copilot for you. Yeah, I know that my time is running. Okay, so this is a bonus. This is a bonus. The name is Note Lab English from Trinity College London. So this is an AI lesson plan generator specifically made for English teachers by Trinity College London. So Trinity College London is the institution that runs CertiSol and DeepTSol. Okay, so they create this specific AI platform to help teachers with lesson planning, English teacher with lesson planning. So the idea is, as example, I know there are teachers who are not really confident with prompting ChatGPT, or maybe find it difficult to find or figure out a specific prompt to create lesson plan. So I can recommend you this kind of tool, which is specific for creating a lesson plan. So here's the let's say the user interface. What you need to do is to again create an account which is free. So what makes it different? This is not a chatbot. Okay, this is like Magic School or David if you have tried it. So what you need to do is to fill in forms of what you want to create. As example, the lesson plan topic. We'll make it as example study tips, for example. Okay, and then you can choose the level, whether it's using CFR, GSE, or ISA. So let's say CFR is the most common, right? Or you can go from A2 up to C1. Okay, let's talk about B1, an intermediate, and then you can choose the skill. So what is this lesson for? Whether speaking, writing. So let's start with listening. Okay, for this time, and then you can choose the learning type, whether it's a grammar, vocabulary, and communication skills. So what you need to do is just to choose and come up with what you need. And then you can even come up with the lesson length. So how long is the lesson? How many students that you have in the class for this lesson? And what is the class type? Whether it's a general English, academic English, you can just choose. Even we have engineering, medical English, and the age group. Okay, let's start with 12 to 14 years old. And then you can even like what interaction that you want to have in this lesson. Okay, I will go for pair work and individual work. And then you can go next, and there will be more forms that you can. As example, I want to go for a role play. and then additional activity that you want to come up with, and what common grammar points that you want to have in this lesson. Okay, as example, I think I will just go with something that is easy. As example, I will go with present simple tense for now. Okay, and then you can go next. And again, what you need is just to fill in more and more details. And even like you can just skip it if you think, okay, I think that's enough. I'll just let the platform or the website to decide. Okay, as example, I will make it as a teaching new information, and then we can generate lesson. And then what you need to do is to wait. And when it's done, you will receive an email, or you can just check the website. So I have created several lesson plans using this. As example, a previous one, I have this lesson about medical English and past tenses in healthcare. So it will come up with worksheet, answer, and presentation. Okay, and then of course with the lesson plan that you can share with your fellow teachers. And again, you can edit, you can check if the lesson plan is actually suitable for your context. Okay, let's take a look at the example of the worksheet and the presentation slide. Well, again, it's not well designed. You will need to edit it, but it's on Google Slide, which is very easy to access. Okay, and it will come with very simple lessons that you will, of course, need to improve. And then, well, the worksheet, I can say it's quite decent, though it's not well designed. Okay, again, it's based on the information that you provide to the website, okay, or to the form, like that. So that's not lab English. Again, if you, let's say you're not ready to prompt yourself with ChatGPT or Gemini or other AI chatbot, I will really recommend to make it, or to use a NotLab English, where you only need to fill in forms and question, and then it will come up with a generated lesson plans. And again, they are free. This is totally free from Trinity College London, and you can share the lesson plan, you can download the lesson plan, and they are on Google Slide and Google Docs. Okay, sometimes if it's listening, it will also come with audio, like that. But again, just make sure that you fill in enough information to the website. Okay, and this is the last one. This is my AI that I created for teachers. Okay, so let's say if you need more recommendations, you can actually chat with my AI agent. Okay, it will ask you whether you're a student or a teacher, and then if you say that you're a teacher, it will ask you what it can help you with. Like that, as example, I need lesson references for listening, and then it will tell you some references that I usually use. So I have uploaded some documents to this chatbot that it will make it relevant for teachers. Again, it's free. You can chat with my AI agent anytime. What you need is just to log in. So I think that I know it's more than 30 minutes, so sorry. So we can continue with the discussion.
Yeah, that was interesting, Fajar. Thank you very much. You've done a great job. Yes. Yeah, I think I have some announcements, but I'll skip some announcements for good days, because you have stolen some of my time. but you've done a great job, So yeah, I will be very glad to leave some announcements for good days. Okay, so we have a chat moderator, Gulruh Mamat Kasimova from Kyrgyzstan. Gulruh, you can address some questions to Fajarudin, or not more than 2, okay? Because we are short of time. But now, please let me again remind, Fajarudin is on our Facebook page on Open Central Asia Regional Interest Community. If you have any questions, so you can, of course, ask your questions, Fajarudin, by tagging him. So I'm sure he will be very glad to answer your questions, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, of course, on the COP platform.
Yeah, please, Gulruh, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Fajarudin. So I'm also very impressed. So handy AI tools, and I'm sure so everyone will use them in the future. Okay, so mostly here the participants are asking to share the names of the free AI tools, and then you have already done it. Thank you so much. And yeah, everyone is amazed here, but here is no other specific question. And here is just one question: do you use free version of Gemini? Yeah, Gemini,
Yes,
because
I
I
use the
use
free
free
version.
version.
Mm-mm.
I haven't seen
I
these
use this version.
functions.
You might want to explore the overall things. Sometimes we just miss something that is actually there. So I would really recommend teachers to navigate through the website that you are using. Sometimes there are certain features that you skip like that. Okay, so I would really recommend try to explore the tool or the website to be more familiar with the tool that you are using. I believe it's there because I'm using the free account too.
Great.
Great.
We have a hand raised by Tanti Sri Kusvianti, a guest from Indonesia. Yes, please, you are welcome, Tanti.
Okay, thank you for the chance. Actually, it's really interesting, yeah, to talk about AI. And actually, I have found one of the problem is that some of the AI tools that you have mentioned before can be used by teachers, and some of them can be used by students, right?
Correct.
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. So my question is that when we try to use AI into our students' learning, um, one of the problem is that about the what do you call that? Data privacy. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Um,
Mhm.
yes. When I ask my students to kinds of to download the application, yeah, or to
Mhm.
install the application, they I had a question from my students. Is it
Mm.
safe? Because and finally
Yes, that's a
she
good one.
didn't want to install it because she's
That's a
afraid
good
that
one.
her data uh, privacy uh, uh, what is it will be spread it something like that. So
Yes, I
how do
understand.
you overcome that problem? Yeah, that's my
Oh.
question,
Mhm.
first question. And the second one is about the rubrics. Yeah, is there
Mhm.
any AI tools that can help teachers to make the rubrics? Because I think one teacher is not only teaching, right? But teacher needs also to check their students' work, and sometimes
Mhm.
uh, teacher can be subjective, right? So to avoid that,
Mhm.
to get the objectivity, teacher needs the rubric. Is there
Yes.
any AI tools that can help teachers to make rubrics? I think that's all. Thank you,
Okay.
Fajar.
Thank you. Thank you. The first question about data privacy. Well, it's the teacher's responsibility. Fully the teacher's responsibility. If you teach at school, if you teach at
Mhm,
school, if you teach as example high school, junior high school, it's your responsibility to actually understand, read the terms of use of the AI tool
mhm,
because your students are underage. Except if you teach university students, well, they are adults, so they can be responsible for their own data. So that's why in this case, that's why I'm presenting the tools that can be used for teachers, not for students.
mhm,
And when it comes to again tools that you want your students to use, you will need to actually learn the terms of use, uh, copyright, and also data privacy. So yes, well, your students actually do the right thing. So my best recommendation so far is teachers who teach at school to limit the use of AI tool in the creation of creative activity in the classroom, instead of just letting the students to learn with AI. Even though there are AI tools that is actually safe for students. Example, Khan Academy. Khan Academy is safe for students. Duolingo AI is safe for students. And then
mhm,
some AI's learning specific tools that again the teachers will
mhm,
need to first understand the use of the tool like that. Well, that's for the first question. So yeah, that's why I'm currently promoting for teachers' creativity using AI before integrating the AI tools with the students, or let the students to use the AI tool. Now, for the second question about the rubric, well, I think it's actually easy to find rubric for English teachers because we have the CFR, and we have the GSA. Well, I can say GSA is easier to use. So I sent the link in the chat. You can go to GSA. Well, I will share a little bit my screen. So the GSA is a rubric tool from Pearson. Well, it's similar to the CFR. The difference is that it's more specific. As example, you want to, as example, what are your students' level? Let's say, let's say my students' level is between A1 to A2. Oh, sorry, A1 to A2. And then what rubrics, descriptors we say that you need. As example, my students are young learners, and then I need rubric for speaking, let's say. Okay, and then you can show results, and then it will come with rubrics. Can answer simple questions, can tell time, can say this is what you need, right? This is what you meant,
Yeah,
Stantis.
thank you.
Yeah, and then you can choose not only learning objectives, which are rubric. You can also go for grammar. As example, I want to know what grammar point that is actually suitable for learners at A1 level. And then, yeah, as example, what nouns can be taught in A1 level. And then you can go for noun, and then you can show results, and then it will show lists of grammar points that is suitable for that level. Okay, and then yeah, it has vocabulary and also text analyzer. So the name is GSE Toolkit. I shared the link in the chat. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Tay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. So
okay.
here we do have one, I think, really important question. So this question is given by Gulnar Abdieva. How do you check if students work on plagiarism? Do you assess their work even they have prepared their essays and project work using AI?
Yeah, that's a good question, Gulnara. Well, I'm very grateful. I don't have that problem because my students are adults. They don't care about plagiarizing. They don't want to plagiarize because they learn because they need to learn. And yeah, I know that is something that our students are late to realize, that they need to actually learn by themselves, so they have the real skills by their own, not cheating, not plagiarizing. Well, I'm very lucky that my students are adults. Even if I tell my learners who are adults, well, you can cheat using AI, they don't want to, because they see no benefits in cheating. Because they don't need a grade, they don't need score. What they want to do, what they want to get is being able to use English. However, in your context, well, as example, because you need to score, you need to assess, you will need to grade your students. Well, I know that well, this what I also shared last year at the British Council. We need a big shift we need to shift dramatically and drastically in how we assess our students, because in the end of the day, the AI tools are here with us, and it will be getting harder and even harder to actually know if it's plagiarized, if it's using AI, if it's automated, and so on and so on. So what education or teachers need to be aware is how we can be open with our students that these tools exist, and what students can do with these tools, and what are the risks of using these tools if it's not used for learning, if it's used for instant gratification. And again, it's I know it's a hard job, it's a hard work for us to actually let the students realize that they need to learn and they need to be able to use this AI tool to be wise, so they can compete in the future. Because, well, your students' future, they will no longer compete with only human. They might be competing with AI tools. They will compete with people that use AI tools. So again, I know this is very complex, especially in English language learning, but there will be also benefits that we can also take from using AI tools. So my best recommendation for now is to limit the use of AI tools for your students' work. Okay, and then be open. There are certain sessions that you let your students, or let's say have a session where it's a time for you and your students to be open about using AI tool and using the AI tools together. And then there will be coming a critical thinking session. So you let your students to analyze, to criticize the result of the AI. So they will know that it turns out that human creation can be even better. Human analytical thinking skill can be better than just mere AI result. That's my best recommendation for now. I know it's not easy.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry for interrupting, Gulruh, Fajar. Yeah, we have set a specific time. I'm really interested, in AI education and technology, because it's nowadays it's a great topic for discussion. So we have, yes, raised hands. MS, I'm so sorry, we have short of time. So please refer your questions, address your questions on OpenCOP, on Open Central Asia Facebook page by tagging Fajarudin Akbar. So I'm sure he will be glad to answer your questions. So
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Fajarudin. You've done a great job. Personally, I really respect you. You are really master of educational technology and AI.
Not really.
Yeah. You've gathered a full house today. So we've gathered a lot of people, a lot of teachers from Central Asia and some teachers from Indonesia. You've done a great job. Thank you. Before finishing, wrapping up, let me, of course, Fajar, you can stay till the end of the webinar. I have a short announcement. I'll skip some announcements. I'll leave some for good days. So let me do some important announcements. Okay, in May, we have two webinars. Special webinar with Hayrullah Jumadullah. The topic, Fun Icebreakers in the English Classroom, May 26. So join Hayrullah Jumadullah for a practical and engaging session on creative icebreakers that energize your English classes and build student rapport. While I'm announcing, Gulruh, could you please share the links? The links, our Facebook page links and conference links for the Central Asian teachers, okay? Thank you. On May 30th, guest expert session with Burulsun Aylchiva Kudusovna from Kyrgyzstan. Her topic is instructional methods and classroom techniques, cognitive approaches. May 30th, 7 p.m. Tashkent time. So don't miss this insightful webinar where our guest expert from Kyrgyzstan shares effective strategies rooted in cognitive theory to improve your classroom instructions. And for the Central Asian teachers, we have the first ever conference. We are excited to announce the first Open Central Asia Regional Interest Community Conference taking place on August 11th at 9 a.m. Tashkent time. This groundbreaking virtual event will bring together 5 distinguished presenters, each representing one of the 5 Central Asian countries, to share insights, best practices, and innovations in English language teaching. Each presentation, including Q&A session, will last 45 minutes, providing a rich platform for professional development, collaboration, and regional exchange. This inaugural conference marks a significant step toward fostering stronger ties and shared learning across Central Asia through the Open Online Professional Network Program. So please, dear teachers from Central Asia, apply to be a presenter. We will be very glad to look at your applications and choose the best one. Okay, that's all for today. Again, thank you so much, Fajarudin Akbar from Indonesia. You've done a great job.
Thank you for
Thank
having me
you,
once again. I'm
Guru, for
really proud.
moderating the chat box and facilitating the Q&A session. And thank you, dear participants. Please join our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and you stay tuned because we have 5 more webinars before we go on vacation. So after 5 webinars, we will go on vacation. So please don't leave these great webinars. That's it.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you a lot.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Jurgen,
Fajarudin.
Guru, Nodira, thank you. See you at the COP. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
teachers.
Goodbye.
Have a good night. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.